Welcome back. So I forgot to make a video today, so we're gonna make one real quick on the largest human family tree ever created. Retraces the history of our species since today is still today by Nicoletta Lanice. Tree is based on thousands of human genome sequences. A new enormous family tree for all of humanity attempts to summarize how all humans alive today relate both to one another and to our ancient ancestors. Goes back to Adam and Eve, but they were monkeys. To build this family tree or genealogy, researchers sifted through thousands of genome sequences collected from both modern and ancient times, as well as ancient human relatives, according to a new study published Thursday. I wonder how many when you'd see a family tree, there's like this head of family, this head of family. I wonder how many different types of families there were in the beginning. These genomes came from 215 populations scattered across the world. Using a computer algorithm, the team revealed distinct patterns of genetic variation within these sequences, highlighting where they match and where they differed. Based on these patterns, the researchers drew theoretical lines of descent between the genomes and got an idea as to which gene variants or alleles the common ancestors of these people likely carried. I feel like all of this is just a guessing game, and they're trying to see who can like guess the best. In addition to mapping out these genealogical relationships, the team approximated where in the world where where in the world the common ancestors of the sequenced individuals lived. They estimated these locations based on the ages of the sampled genomes and the location where each genome was sampled. Okay. The way that we've estimated where ancestors live is particular, very preliminary, said first author Anthony Wilder Wolms, who he had to have changed that, who was a doctoral student at the University of Oxford's Big Data Institute at the time of the study. Despite its limitations, the data still captured major events in human evolutionary history. Looks like period. For example, we definitely see overwhelming evidence of the out of Africa event, meaning the initial dispersal of Homo sapiens from East Africa into Eurasia and beyond, said Wilms, who is now a postdoctoral researcher at the Broad Institute of MIT and Harvard. The method the researchers use works well to refine known ancestral locations, and as sampling improves, it has the potential to identify currently unknown human movements. Ida Andres, an associate professor in the Genetics, Evolution, Environmental Department, GEED, at the University College London, UCL, Genetics Institute. Jeez, that's a mouthful, bro. And Jasmine Rees, a doctoral candidate at the UCL Genetics Institute, wrote in a commentary also published in the journal Science on Thursday. So in the future, when more data become available, such analysis could potentially reveal chapters of human history that are currently unknown to us. Yeah, I read the theory that everyone came from Africa, and we all, when it was like still Pangea, we all somewhat, once it started shifting a little bit more, we all started going to Europe, going to Asia, and then from Asia, some of the people that were like in Russia went through the ice walkway to Alaska and populated northern Canada and the northern part of North America now, uh, where there's like more buffaloes, and not many tribes went to the more southern parts because the travel was very hard, especially because they had to figure out, you know, how to survive in the cold. Building the human family tree to build a unified genealogy. So really all just different tribes of Africa. Yeah, we're still out here killing each other. To build a unified genealogy of humanity, the researchers first pooled genomic data from several large publicly available datasets, including the 1000 Genomes Project, the Human Genome Diversity Project, and the Simon's Genome Diversity Project. There was two of them. From these datasets, they gathered about 3,600 high quality sperms genome sequences from modern day humans. High quality genome sequences are those with very few gaps or errors. Why are there like gaps in genomes though? Like it's straight up just broken, which have been largely assembled in the correct order according to a 2018 report in the journal Nature Biotechnology. How do they know it's the correct order? So many questions. Because, like, if they're saying, like, oh, okay, we definitely assembled this in the correct order, that means that they needed the correct order in the first place to sequence these missing bits and pieces. But then why would they need to even assemble those pieces if they already had the full correct order, right? I don't know. High quality genomes from ancient humans were harder to come by since DNA from ancient specimens tends to be severely degraded, Wilm said. However, in digging through previously published research, the team managed to find 8 high quality ancient hominin genomes to include in their tree. I need to really move my computer because I think you can hear it hum. Uh, these include 3 Neanderthal genomes, one thought to be more than 100,000 years old, a Denisovan genome roughly 74,000 to 82,000 years old, and 4 genomes from a nuclear family that lived in the Altai Mountains of Russia. Russia strikes again. About 4,600 years ago, Neanderthals and Denisovans are extinct relatives of the Homo sapiens. In addition to these high-quality ancient genomes, the team identified more than 3,500 additional lower-quality genomes with significant degradation ranging from a few hundred to several thousand years old, Mom said. These degraded genomes did not factor into the main tree building analysis. Nice. But the team sifted through the fragments to see which isolated alleles could be identified in the samples. This piecemeal data helped the researchers confirm when different alleles first cropped up in the genealogical record since the specimens that the genomes came from had been radiocarbon dated. Doesn't that just mean that they know how old it was? Ancient genomes provided a unique snapshot of genetic diversity in the past, which can help reveal when and where a genetic variant first appeared and how it spread thereafter. Andres and Rees told Live Science in a joint statement. Whilst this study does not integrate the low-quality ancient genomes into the building of the tree, using them to inform the age of variants within the tree is still powerful for these means, and promises many extinct advances ahead. Holmes and his colleagues used these data to double-check whether the lines of descent outlined in their family tree made sense timing-wise, and in most cases they did not. Oh, they did. Nice. It's very reassuring to see that over 90% of the time we are being consistent with the samples that archaeologists can radiocarbon date. Well, Holmes says, but there are, 5% or 10% of these genetic variants where we see discordant estimates. I don't know what that means. As to when they first appeared, according to the conflicting results from the archaeological record and the estimates made by their tree building algorithm. This is so funny to me. He noted in these cases, the team adjusted the tree to reflect the timing that could be confirmed through radiocarbon dating, he said. Although it's based on just a few thousand genome samples, the team's final family tree actually captures quite a lot about genealogy of all humanity, Holmes said. Using the tree as a scaffold, the team then conducted their geographical analysis to see when and where the theoretical ancestors of their sampled populations likely lived. From this, they not only found clear evidence of the out-of-Africa migration, but also uncovered potential evidence of interactions between Homo sapiens and now extinct hominids such as Denisovans, he said. What? For example, the results suggested that ancestors of modern humans could be found in Papua New Guinea some 280,000 years ago, okay, hundreds of thousands of years before the earliest known evidence of modern human habitation in the region. That doesn't necessarily suggest that Homo sapiens actually occupied that area long ago, but it does perhaps suggest that there's some genetic variation that is only found in that region. It indicates that there's a really deep ancestry there that's not found anywhere else. Some of this unique ancestry may stem from modern humans breeding with Denisovans as was also suggested in a 2019 report in the journal Cell, which found genomic evidence of modern humans interbreeding with multiple Den Denisovans. So where did these guys come from? If they're saying that Homo sapiens are from Africa, and they're saying if you found something from Papua New Guinea, that they're more than likely still from Africa, but they migrated over there and mated with the Denisovians. There's a really deep ancestry that's not found elsewhere. So where the fuck did the Denisovians come from? The trees generated in this study will undoubtedly prove useful to those studying human evolution, but the methods and data used to construct said trees are not without their limitations. Andres and Rees wrote in their commentary, one limitation is that most genomic sequences has been performed in Eurasian populations. So although the new study incorporated thousands of modern genomes, the data may not fully capture global genetic diversity. They told Live Science in an email, further integration of underrepresented populations would continue to tackle this limitation, they said. There's a lot of uncertainty in these estimates, Worms said of the team's recent results. Unless we had the genome of everybody who ever lived and where and when they lived, that's the only way that we can get the truth. The team reconstructed human history as closely as they could, given the data at hand, but with more genome samples and more sophisticated software, the tree could definitely be refined. But but they're just guessing though. I mean, I guess that's what all science is, right? Educated guessing. The nice thing about the methods we've created is that they would work well. They would work with potentially millions of samples, Holmes said. So as we have more data, we'll get better estimates. So basically, they need to go buy 23andMe and just steal their data. Holmes said he's now working to develop new machine learning algorithms to improve the team's estimates of where and when our ancestors lived. In a separate project, he plans to employ the same tree building method to better understand the genetic basis of human disease. He aims to do this by pinpointing the origin point of disease-related alleles and then reconstructing how and when these gene variants spread through the different populations. The same tree building method could also be used to trace the evolutionary history of our organisms, such as honeybees or cattle, and even infectious agents like viruses, he added. The power and resolution of tree recording methods promise to help clarify the evolutionary history of humans and other species. Andres and Rees wrote in their commentary, it is likely that the most powerful way to infer evolutionary history going forward will have their foundations firmly set in these methods. So why would they do all of this when all of these other DNA places already have so much data, and I'm sure they're not going to share that data for free, but they have all this data and they have a bigger sample pool, and they probably mapped out at least 25% of the human population. So why not just request their data? You know, why is data so not free? If if it helps the human world, the human uh species, why not give it for free? But I guess that's asking a lot for people that can't stop shooting bombs at each other. But yeah, but that's by Nicoletta Lanice on Live Science.